Hi, welcome to the first episode of The Educated Mind Thoughts of Two Black Scholars. I'm Myra G, and this is.
DeAndre Moore, Dre Moore for short.
We are students at the University of Missouri Columbia, otherwise known as Mizzou.
Mizzou!
I'm a journalism major specializing in public relations, and Dre.
Communications, broadcasting, everything broadcasting.
We created this show basically to address the issues within our society and the future leaders of America, whether it be particularly African American society. Um, but we're going to have shows that segue off into just general issues within our society. Today's topic will be whether we feel like white women's promiscuity is overlooked and black women's promiscuity is exploited even further. And we're going to particularly focus in on the Amber Cole case since that video was released about a week ago. So, Jerry's going to give you a brief description of what happened basically with the Amber Cole situation, and then he's also going to relay an anecdote that happened at his former high school.
So, Amber Cole, black girl, 14 years old, on cell phone video recording of her performing oral sex on a black male with two of his friends in the area, and it was behind the school gymnasium, so outdoors. Now, my not history, but my hearing of such last year at my own high school, a white girl, 15 years old, freshman, she was on the same cell phone video recording. She was giving oral sex to three black male football players, and the story goes, a day after it was posted on Facebook, on Twitter, our high school has its own Facebook page, so alumni of the high school can go on there and they see this. I mean, I heard about it 2 days after. When I go on, it's not there no more. So, of course, they took it down ASAP. They got to it ASAP. They reported it. The kids ended up getting kicked off the football team. No jail time, anything. But basically, the Amber Cole video was posted on the internet about a week ago, October 19th. Today's the 25th. And it's still on the internet today. It's still being, it was a trending topic. I don't know if it still is, but I'm sure you've seen all the YouTube reply videos or whatever about people saying, leave that girl alone, blah, blah, blah. Basically, what we're going to talk about, what I'm going to ask Myra here is, how do you feel, or what do you think is the reason why at my whatever story that I just told, the white girl's video took off the internet so quick, they got to the point so quick, they got recognized so quick. But as for Amber Cole, the first real public news other than YouTube videos and Twitter of this incident just came out like over the weekend. I think it was Saturday night. Whereas, yeah, so.
Okay, well, I think that both situations are unfortunate. However, I really think that the difference between the two is there's a number of differences. For one thing, I think that you had said that the police had gotten involved, and I feel like on behalf of Amber Cole and her parents that the proper legal action wasn't taken, because that is a legal issue anytime that kind of videotape is released. Anytime a videotape is released of your child, they have to sign release forms, so that's an issue within and of itself. And then that's also child pornography.
Yes, it is.
So I do think that that issue was on the parents, that they did not step up and take legal action. Also, as far as the school goes, especially since it took place at that school on the premises, I feel like the school probably is not handling it in the best way, because I would have, in my personal opinion, the school should have called the young men in, as well as Amber Cole, confiscated the videotape, and made sure that it was taken down from every website. Even if at this point it has been copied and circulated throughout the internet, they should have said any kind of post that you have put out there, you need to remove. So I definitely think that the school is partially to blame, but I just think that in our society, there is somewhat of a double standard for African American women, making some questionable decisions when it comes to sexual activity, and Caucasian women making some questionable decisions when it comes to sexual activity. Um, Not to so much say that it's okay on any party, but I feel like it's more widely, if like you said, like, it was handled very quickly. Like, I think that if a white girl is caught, or something of that nature, doing something that's sexually promiscuous, like, it might generate a little bit of buzz, but at the same time, it's one of those situations where it's just kind of like it fades to black. Amber Cole, they've made dances, they have made songs and things of that nature, to further exploit her, and I just think it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, okay, well, she did it. I think that there's more harsh judgment as far as when it comes to black girls doing something that is uh, making her seem as a woman of loose morals. My question to Dre is, from a male standpoint, not not knowing whether you've dated both races, but is it more acceptable for you if let's say your white girl, you dated two girls, and both of them had a similar situation, would you find it more acceptable for the white girl to have that situation, or would you kind of call it a deal breaker with the African American girl for having that situation? And vice versa, your friends, because obviously boys do talk.
Well, I can honestly say I would label it as a deal breaker with a black woman, and it is basically, yeah, really what you were all saying, because black women are put up on a higher pedestal than a white woman. I mean, black women have to deal with the fact that, well, everything a black man has to deal with plus more, and a white woman, for instance, Paris Hilton, she gets exploited, but at the same time, she's still not really to the point where she's just gonna be like, oh damn, I need to change my life. Whereas no one's gonna tell her she needs to change her life, as much as people would like to. For a black woman, say if it was Beyonce that was out there like that, she would really get heckled with much more bullshit than any other like famous or equal compared equal white woman would.
Well, I mean, as far as being put up on a pedestal, I feel like it's actually the opposite, because it's one of those situations like, I feel like in the eyes of society, sometimes it's almost like Caucasian women can do no wrong. Um, and I just think that maybe it's a media thing where we constantly are exploiting black women, or we constantly want to show this one representation of black women to keep the status quo. Um, and that's just not. And I mean, there's nothing that we can change it, but it's going to take a lot of work to change it. Uh, just my personal question: why is it not a deal breaker with the white girl? Like, just from a male perspective, any girl that I'm not a male, so I can't say, but um, I just feel like any girl that you date, you would want her to be,
Pure,
yeah, respected.
respectful,
Every pretty much at the age that
not a
we're at,
bad background.
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much at the age we're at, everyone has some kind of sexual history for the most part. So I'm not expecting that a man is requesting a virgin, but at the same time, I would think that you'd want someone that hasn't been with everybody, or that it's not like I watched your girl on the internet doing X, Y, and Z with my homeboy.
The way I see it, media media has shown white women to be more promiscuous. When they show black women promiscuous, more media will portray it as being bad instead of as white women they portray as being negative. Um, the MTV show 16 and pregnant, 16 and pregnant, whatever it's called. I don't watch it really, but the times I have caught it, every time I've caught it, it was a white girl, and it always ends up being a happy ending somehow, some way.
And I mean, I think
As
that I'm sorry to interject, but I think that it definitely, to a certain degree, glorify the show that we're talking about in particular does glorify promiscuity and glorifies girls getting pregnant out of wedlock at, basically as children. I mean, to be perfectly honest, 16 is not really the ideal age to be having a child. Um, and I just think that in the same light, it's become such a big deal that they made a TV show about it when white girls do it. But at the same time, unfortunately, the norm is, or it's almost kind of expected, that an African American girl
women,
can
yeah.
have a baby or two babies before she graduates high school, and it's just kind of like whatever, she trifling. That's how it is.
Yeah.
So I mean, as much as we want to say that it's not an issue, they do kind of show it as like, well, we had and even if not, the show stars as they go on, if they break up with the original father or the father of their child, it kind of is like, oh, they end up finding love and someone to take care of them. But in the black community, it's like, really? I mean, just from what I've seen, if a girl says she has a baby, then it's like, oh no, I don't want her.
Well, some interesting things we've covered today.
Yeah. If you guys have any kind of show suggestions or you guys want us to further explore this topic, let us know. This has been The Educated Mind, and Dre has some shout outs he would like to do.
Mizzou Black Men's Initiative, my organization. I love you, brothers. Keep it on and popping. Anyone in the... Actually, we have an internet site. My radio station, KCOU 88.1, if you're in the Columbia, Missouri area. If you're not, go to the website, kcou.fm. Google it if you can, if it doesn't pop up automatically. Saturdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., me and my co-host Alexandria Jones from Naperville, Illinois. She also is a journalism major here. We'll be giving you some nice music to listen to, talking about some issues sort of like this, just shorter, and that's all. Have a nice day, I guess.
All right, and this has been Educated Minds, and hopefully we'll see you
next week.
Okay, I think that went really well.